thousands of dollars.
I don't know about all
Alrighty,
that, but
guys.
over.
We are live with you today, and as you can tell, we're already having a blast. How you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just so you know, everybody, John screwed everything up. That's all I'm going to say. I'm blaming John right away. He screwed everything up.
Blame it on my lack of technology knowledge.
My lack of
We're
password.
running late because I had technical difficulties, i.e. logging onto a computer. I'm a simple person. Simple.
He couldn't remember his first name for his password. So now you all know John's password.
Too many passwords. Too much stuff. But welcome to the Mike and Mike Show. Start. Mike and Mike.
We're done.
John's going to run the show today, and he's going to ask us questions. You guys didn't know it. We're switching it all around.
Let's start with Mike. And Mike F., what are you smoking today?
Well, Mr. Huber, I am smoking a San Latano Oval.
Ah, excellent. A fine choice for the Crown Heads Day.
AJ Fernandez stick. Look at that. Yes.
Applause. Way to
Oh, shit.
And Mike F., what are you smoking?
What's that, John?
You smoking?
Oh, I am smoking. Yes, I'm smoking the Crown Heads. Yes, I am.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Mike F., pay attention to Mike W. That's how you run a show. That's what you do when you have a guest from a company and makes a cigar. You smoke their cigar. Now, when AJ comes on the show, you can smoke 4 kicks.
Oh, not going to live this down.
And cut your hair.
Yeah, get a haircut.
Look, John, he's even supporting Dr. Pepper. Look he's giving them free advertisement.
Diet Dr. Pepper.
You could have put over the
that.
doctor.
I'm watching my weight.
Wow.
And I don't want to say nothing, John, but he does own a Crown Heads shirt, and I notice he doesn't have that on. Oh, he does. Oh, there you go.
You just can't see the hair. Pull your hair back. There you go.
I'll put it.
All right.
Oh,
I can put it up in
No,
rows
don't
on the
you.
side like Princess Leia.
Oh. God.
wow. 5 minutes into the show, and we haven't even done anything. All right. Oh, cripe. All right.
You figured out how to log on to Skype, though. We got that going for us.
Yes, we did resolve that issue, so we are going. So anyways, welcome everybody in the chat room. Thanks to everybody for tuning in.
You may regret it.
And make sure you get all your questions ready for John. He's looking forward to answering all these questions. And so, John, since the last time you were on the show, when you originally started off with the Crown Heads, now you're into your new cigars. Is it out yet, or is it coming out? August. It's out.
You mean Headley Grange?
Yes.
Plug. It's coming out in August. It's
All
actually.
right. Tell the folks what to do.
Headley Grange is actually a 2013 brand that we're releasing one size in August. We're just doing 1,000 boxes of the 5.5 by 52. That'll be available, and then we'll release the other 3 sizes in probably spring of 2013.
What all sizes are you going to have with that?
Small, medium, and large.
Super size.
There's going to be a whole new thing for the industry. None of this ring gauge stuff. We're just going small, medium, large. And then for the ladies, we're doing 6, 8, 10, 12, and petite.
That would be awesome. That really would.
How about that? And then we're going to do a whole line for kids, like toddler 3. And then we'll go up through. Yeah, I hope the FDA is watching that.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's going to be, we've got a size for Headley Grange. It's going to be 5 1/4 44 called an Eminentes, a 5 5/8 46 Corona Gorda, 5.5 by 52 called Estupendos, and a 6 1/8 by 50 called Dobles. But the Estupendos, the 5.5 52, will be the only one available this year.
And that'll join the regular production then, right? That's not just something limited for those 1,000.
Yeah, no, there's no limited editions of anything at this point. I think that was like a big confusion, actually, when we came out with 4 kicks. Everybody thought, oh, they just did 30,000 cigars and that's it. Well, we did 30,000 cigars for 2011. They sold out, but yes, we do have more. We're making more, and we're on schedule to make 300,000 to 400,000 cigars this year. So we're gradually growing production, gradually growing distribution. Just really everything is dictated at the pace that we can acquire tobacco. is. You know, I mean, we get enough tobacco, enough yield to make 300,000 cigars or 400,000 cigars. That's what really, everything else falls into place under that. The number of cigars you make, how many accounts you can distribute to, how much you can grow your distribution. It's all based on the tobacco.
Right.
Now, how many places are you in right now, John? Do you know?
We are in 164 stores right now. I say doors, actually, 164 doors, because you can have an account like, say, an Emerson's or a Tinderbox or something that has multiples, or Havana Connections where you have 5, 6, 7 stores, you know, but I call them doors. So we're in 164 doors right now. We started with 66 in November.
Spanning from
what? Spanning the globe.
I mean, are you in New York?
Oh, yes. I mean, we're all over the country. We're more concentrated on the Atlantic seaboard, I think, if you really had to look at a map. But we're pretty much all over. I mean, you can kind of look at a map on our website of our retail distribution. We're everything from California all the way to New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
You know, so yeah, I think we've actually a little ahead of schedule in terms of distribution and growth. We really wanted to go into the IPCPR show with about 150 stores, and you know, we're still 2 months away, and we got 164.
Nice. Now, for the Headley Grange, when that comes out this August, will that be in the stores that you have now, or is it just go?
We are going to offer Headley Grange. This is a good question, Mike F. And we're going to offer Headley Grange to our starting 66 initially.
Okay.
Those were the guys that started with us, and then, you know, they get first right of refusal. And when everybody turns us down with Headley Grange, then we'll go to the next guy. But in order to get Headley Grange, yes, they have to carry 4 kicks. It's not like somebody can come to the show and say, I don't know anything about your cigars, but I want Headley Grange. Well, if you don't have 4 kicks, you know, obviously not going to get Headley Grange.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
So the difference, you said we were talking in the pre-show that there's a big difference between Headley Grange and the 4 kicks. Can you speak a little bit about it? Tell us a little bit about it.
And it's different than San Latano Oval, too.
Let me just take a puff right here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I'd at least take the band off, Mike, I think, to save some face.
At this point in time.
No, okay. I got nothing but love for AJ and San Latano. I think, hey, listen, I will tell you, I think that's an excellent smoke. I smoked a few of them. Fantastic. Much respect. The difference, well, the components obviously are different. The wrapper binder filler is different. The tobaccos are different. The main thing really is I don't know how much you guys know about the whole Headley Grange project, but the inspiration for it was the drums on When the Levee Breaks. Mike F., being a long-haired weirdo that he is, probably has like some Led Zeppelin like collection going on, and he probably knows about this. But that really thick, heavy, ominous, plodding kind of sound that John Bonham's drums made on that track, I said, I wish we could blend a cigar that tastes the way the drum sound on When the Levee Breaks. And this was like when we were still blending 4 kicks. So we wanted something that had some volume, some strength, some balls to it, really. And so then we took that as a jumping off point to Ernesto Perez Carrillo Jr. And since he was a drummer, he knew exactly what I was talking about. It was kind of like very serendipitous the way the whole thing worked out. And so we tried a bunch of different stuff. But we ended up with a Sumatran wrapper, which I've never really, thought about using. When we started blending 4 kicks with Ernie, he says, bro, he goes, Ecuador Habano, everybody's using Ecuador Habano. Well, don't use it. Let's do something else different for your first launch. I said, no, I really like this wrapper. I really want to do Ecuador Habano. And we stuck to our guns, and that's what 4 kicks became. Round 2, Headley Grange, he's like, let's try something with Sumatra. And I said, that makes sense. And it lended a whole different flavor profile to the cigar. I've probably focus grouped it to maybe 3 or 4 people, outside of Mike and I in the office, obviously. And the feedback's been very, very positive. It's bigger, it's more robust, it's stronger, heavier. It's a whole different flavor than 4 kicks. It's not that 4 kicks was blended to appeal to a novice to a seasoned smoker. It's that mild to medium, medium in body, full flavor, rich, complex, doesn't really hit you. But I mean, Headley Grange, you know, if you take it in the morning, it can hit you right in the mouth. You know, I love it. It's a great cigar. I'm very happy with the blend, and the packaging looks completely different as well.
Cool.
Obviously. So.
Well, let's take a question from the chat room. Corey wants to know, Don, do you have a favorite tobacco that you like to use?
Like I said, I'm a big fan of. First of all, hello, Corey. We email. I know it's got to be Corey.
Yep.
Zerby.
You got it.
All right. Pretty good, huh? At any rate, yes, I've always been a fan of the Ecuador Habano wrapper, of that tobacco. Are you talking about wrapper, or are you talking about filler?
He just said tobacco in general, John.
Tobacco in general? Well, if you want to generalize it and take wrapper, binder, filler off the table, to me, anything that comes out of Nicaragua is about as close to Cuba as you can possibly get, sometimes even better.
Well, now he just posted wrapper.
Wrapper, Ecuador Habano.
There you go, Corey.
Ecuador Habano. But, you know, it just depends on the time of day, man. I'm a big broadleaf fan as well. Connecticut broadleaf. Love that. I'll tell you what I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Connecticut shade.
Yeah.
Never have been. I still am not. The one cigar that I smoked that really kind of made me think twice about it was the New Wave Connecticut from EPC. When I smoked that, I was like, wow, you can do this with Connecticut shade. You know, that's something to think about. But for the most part, I haven't been a fan up until that point. But Ecuador Habano, Connecticut broadleaf, those are probably, I would put those up there.
There you go, Corey. There's your answer. Now get your kid out of the freezer.
Kids in the freezer?
Oh yeah, it's a whole inside joke. I don't know, 3 shows ago, Corey's kid jumped in the freezer.
There's a good one.
During the show.
There?
Huh?
Is he still there?
Lady of the Stick has a question. Christine wants to know, what do you think impacts the experience of the cigar most? Wrapper, binder, or filler?
I think, Christine, that's an excellent question. And it's going to be a very opinion-based question, because if you ask 5 different people in this industry, you'll get 5 different answers. I think a large part of that depends upon the ring gauge.
Yep.
It's going to come down to a ratio more than just saying wrapper, binder, filler. It's a ratio of wrapper to binder, filler. When you go smaller ring gauges, you have more of a ratio of wrapper to filler, and so as a result, you get more of the flavor of the wrapper. And then you go to the larger ring gauges, it's just the inverse. I will say that, to me, large ring gauge cigars, like anything north of 56, when you start getting to 58 and 60 and some of this ridiculous stuff, I'm sorry that I've been seeing like 70 ring gauge cigars. And when you do that, I think you really detract from what the original blend was intended to be. And you get completely off on a tangent that kind of veers towards Gimmickville, in my opinion. If you can make a fantastic Corona or a 46 Corona Gorda, you can do anything you want with a 50, 52, 54.
There you go, lady. Well, let's see. The chat room booming today, which is nice. John G's got a question. I think we kind of mentioned the Selection 5, but he said, I like the original release of the 4 kicks, but I am liking the Selection 5 better. Has the blend been tweaked a bit, or is it just a tobacco aging issue, or is it just me?
It's neither. What it is, basically, Selection 5, I've actually been told that by a lot of people, that, you know, we had the first release that came out, the 30,000 cigars that were released in November. Everybody said, oh, fantastic cigars, great, da, da, da. And then we had a drought of about 2 months where we had no production. And then we came back out, and everybody said, oh, this batch, the 2012 batch, is better than the 2011 batch. The reason for that is very simple. When we made the first cigars for 2011, we made them with Ernie. He had 7 to 8 bales of tobacco, Habano Ecuador, that we use. So, and he did a fantastic job with them from the initial release. The 2012 production, however, which also includes Selection 5, comes as a result of tobacco that Mike and I, you all right? It's that San Latano Oval. See, if you smoked the 4 kicks, you wouldn't be choking.
See,
like
nobody
that.
would have known. I actually turned my microphone off that goes to the live show. Nobody would have known anything. And here comes John.
Anyway, so going back to October of last year, Mike and I went down to Nika with Ernie, and we hand selected all of the tobacco for 2012's production. So what you're seeing as a result in 2012 is not the 7 to 8 bales that Ernie happened to have lying around. It is the tobacco that the three of us, Ernie, Mike Conder, and myself, went and hand selected and validated and smoked. And that's what we chose for the 2012 production, which includes selection number 5. So yes, I would say, and Ernie has said it himself, that the 2012 production is a notch above. It's the same blend. It's just that we were very particular about the tobaccos that we selected, from the priming to the farm to the region to everything. It was very, very focused and intentional.
Now, is that with picking your tobacco like that, John? Is it harder now? I mean, you used to be with CAO. Most people know that from years ago, and it was a huge corporation.
Who?
Yeah. I think AJ Fernandez has something to do with it.
I saw an interesting tweet. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be like full disclosure today. I just feel like it. And I saw a tweet that CAO did yesterday. It's, great cigars taste the way great songs sound. And I was racking my brain. I'm like, man, that sounds really familiar. Where did I hear that? That something that you can blend something to taste the way something sounds. And I was like, I wish I would have thought of that. That's amazing. So hats off to CAO for the originality. You guys are doing a good job out there.
Oh,
all right.
Boy, this is full circle from the first time we had him on, huh? First time was like, I really can't go into that right now. I would love to talk about it, but let's get on. Let's go forward with something else. Now it's like, hey,
kind of a jerk. What was the question, Mike?
Ass wipes. Thanks for stealing my thoughts.
Let me ask you: does the F stand for Fernandez?
Hey, as long if AJ doffed me, yes.
Man.
Selecting tobacco.
I was just curious with when you start out, like I said, CA was a huge corporation. You start out, you're a small company right now. Is it a lot harder for you to find the premier tobaccos and the leaves to use compared to what you could do at a huge organization?
That's a difficult question for me to answer, because, to be honest with you, when I was with CAO, I was never really actively involved in procuring the tobacco. My involvement with the blends was, people would bring me cigars to smoke, and I would give my opinion towards them and things of that nature. But I was never actively the guy that went in there and hand selected the tobacco. So this, for me, Crowned Heads, working with Mike, Ernesto, it's like grad school, and I'm loving it. It's like, to me, CAO was like my undergrad degree. And this is definitely my graduate degree. I've learned so much in working with Ernie for, what has it been, 8 months, something like that, 9 months. Just in that short a time, I've learned so much about tobacco and selection and validation and how you judge the tobacco by aroma and flavor and everything. So yeah, I never did that at CAO. So this has been wonderful. I'm very, very happy.
Well, let's take another one, John, from Corey again. He's got another one. He said, would you ever blend and produce a stick that you would not smoke, but you would sell?
No.
There you go, man. That's quick. No,
absolutely not. I mean, I can't sell something that I don't enjoy or that I don't believe in. There's no authenticity to that, and I'm not about to do something just to make $1. And everything that we put out is something that we enjoy. And you pretty much every guy in the industry, you ask the same question, they're going to give you that answer. I mean, I've seen interviews that Pete's done, and Pete's like, well, I made these cigars, and I just figured if nobody bought them, I'll have something to smoke. And that's really, I think, how you have to approach this industry, because if you don't believe in it and if you don't enjoy it, then why are you doing it? Right. So I would never make something, which is why I would never make a 7x70 cigar. It's like, I would never smoke that. Right. So why would I make it?
I hear you. Let's see. We're going to get back on the CAO now, because you got everybody in the chat room buzzing now.
All right.
Cigar Lifter wants to know, do you still smoke any CAO cigars?
No.
There's another quick answer. I'm liking this.
No. Hey, I'll be honest with you, man. People have asked me before I've gone in the stores and stuff, hey, did you smoke the new Osa Soul? Da, 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 da. Never. The day I walked out that door, which was December 17, 2010, That was the last day I smoked any of our product.
Wow.
And that is honest to God truth.
John's got that censored sticker off his mouth. I'm loving it. It's like,
It
you
is.
know what?
I
Let's
mean, listen,
get it out of the bag right now.
reality. CAO to me was a great chapter in my life, and it was a big chapter in my life. But it's done. And for anybody to ask me about CAO now, it isn't CAO.
Right.
It's not. CAO was CAO because of John Osgener, Tim Osgener, Eileen Osgener, Mike Conder, Mickey Peg,
Right.
Jon Huber, all this mix of personalities. All of those personalities are gone.
Right.
So how can you say it's CAO? It's like having a band, and then you got the same band's name, but none of the musicians are there.
Kind of like Van Halen.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that, I guess.
I get what you're saying.
So whatever. Good luck to them.
Now, in all honesty, I'll say that actually surprised me. I figured you would still smoke the La Traviata Maduro. I did.
Nope. Nope. I'll tell you why I don't. I loved La Traviata. That was one of the cigars I really actually had a good hand in helping blend. I was really proud of that project. And but as soon as we left, I don't know what tobaccos are in there. I can't tell you for sure. Who knows? So I just, it's not like I have a vendetta or anything. Like, I'll never smoke CAO. I'll be honest with you, I don't really enjoy the product. So
it's like you said, it's it's not there anymore. It's not CAO.
It's not.
It's not.
It's General Cigar.
Yeah, you're right. And I think most people probably feel the same way.
And listen, if they do, that's fine. If they like the new stuff that they're putting out, that's great too.
Yeah.
I have no hard feelings against General Cigar or any of that. I mean, for me, it was a blessing the way everything happened because I'm in a position to do what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
So I wish them all the best in the world. And there's like a couple people there that were decent people that I actually like,
Yeah. Well, speaking in the beginning, John, when you first kicked off Crown Heads, how and have come where you've come now, and all the support and all the respect and all the nice words that people are saying for you, how surprising is it, or is it even surprising to you today?
It's humbling. I'll say that. I mean, I don't know if it surprised me or, I mean, I kind of think we went into it to be successful and we thought we had a good shot at it. Having Ernesto make your cigars doesn't hurt. I mean, I have so much respect and admiration for Ernie. And, every time somebody compliments Mike or I or Crowned Heads or whatever about the cigar, we don't make the cigars, guys. Ernie makes the cigars, and his team and his people, and we approve the blends and we select the blends and we have all the ideas. But I mean, when it comes down to it, if you don't have somebody like Ernie making your cigars, so it's humbling to me, and I'd never take any of it for granted. If somebody sends me an email saying, "Wow, I had one of your cigars and it was fantastic," I will always email that person back and say, "Thank you for taking the time to tell us that. It means a lot to us." And as long as you retain that level of humility, I think that things will be good. It's nothing's a guarantee. I mean, Headley Grange can come out and bomb. I don't think it will, but it could. Mm-hmm. So I'd take everything and appreciate everything. Everything's a blessing to me and my family and my coworkers, and we're very, very grateful for everybody who has supported us to this point.
Oh, here's a good one. Sean from Nice Tight Ash. He asked, do you have any thoughts on blending a Maduro in the future?
I love the timing of that question, boy. I got off the phone with Mike Conder, and we had a conversation somewhat like, yeah, I'd love to. I mean, I'm a huge fan of broadleaf. I think it's more of a niche than a lot of other cigars, but I look at some of the stuff that's out there right now, and some people have done some really great stuff with broadleaf, specifically Pete Johnson. Pete has made some amazing cigars. I think you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the specifics, but isn't La Dueña Connecticut broadleaf?
I'm not sure.
He blended for Jenny.
I don't know.
Anyway, if somebody were to ask me what's the best cigar you had, outside of Four Kicks, hands down, you'll see it soon. It's called La Dueña, and Pete Johnson blended it for Jenny. And I got to smoke a couple with him in Miami in March. And I was just like, man, It was amazing. So yeah, I mean, in a roundabout answer to your question, I would love to do a Maduro cigar with true Connecticut broadleaf, and who knows? We'll see what the future
Now,
brings.
along with that, do you
Cool.
think one of your cigars you have, would the Four Kicks or the Headley Grange work well with the Maduro wrapper on it?
I'll be honest with you. I don't, Mike. To be honest, I don't look at cigars like that anymore. Like it's CAO. That was kind of like you had, hey, we had La Traviata. Let's do La Traviata Maduro. CX2, MX. I'm not looking to, just throw a different wrapper on something and put it out there. Quite honestly, a lot of times certain blends don't work well with different wrappers. Like for instance, when we were working on Headley Grange, I said, even though we had it to a point where I thought it was very good with the Sumatra wrapper, I told Ernie, I said, can you just humor me and put a Ecuador Habano wrapper on it? Let's see what it tastes like. Thinking that it's going to look better aesthetically. And I think, well, might even give it a little bit more flavor. Smoked it and it was a complete dud. It's terrible. So obviously we stuck with the Sumatra wrapper. So just, you can't really just do something like Four Kicks. Say, okay, now Four Kicks Maduro, and Four Kicks Habano, and Four Kicks Criollo, and I don't want to. I want to come up with new things. I don't want to just bastardize one theme till it's done.
There you go. Well, Matt Morona said the answer to your question, that cigar is Connecticut broadleaf.
Yeah, La Dueña.
Yep.
Man, I'm telling you, fantastic. My hat's off to Pete Johnson once again. Hat hair day, guys.
Need to get that cut.
Yeah, no, it really. Look who's talking, AJ.
Oh, Christ. Let's see. LOD's got a question, too. He says, this is a long one. John, with so many different new cigar companies and social media and access to manufacturers, do you think this time in the future will be looked upon as another cigar boom?
That's actually interesting. I think when people generalize a cigar boom, they talk about volume and, what really kind of made that period in our history a cigar boom was that cigars crossed over into pop culture. You started seeing Demi Moore on the cover of Cigar Aficionado magazine. It wasn't a taboo thing. Everybody was doing it. It was the cool thing to do. That, to me, was what represented a cigar boom. I think we're in a transitional period in our industry, in that the advent of social media, bloggers, all of this has really created a whole different business model for us as manufacturers to go forward. I mean, when I first started in the business back in '96, during those years, the only way you can get your message out was, you'd send a press release to Cigar Aficionado and hope they would pick up on it, and you might see it in the magazine in a month or two. Cigar Aficionado didn't have an online component at that point. Then they started online. Then, there was a chat room and forums, and now here we are today doing a Skype interview, and, there's so many different blogs and, Twitter and Facebook and everything. So now you have the opportunity to get your message out instantaneously, and that changes the whole game, in my opinion. So I think, is this a boom? I don't know, but is it definitely, I see a transition in that period? Yes, definitely.
I think everybody's a lot more aware of everything that's going on in the cigar industry compared to what you were 10, 15, 20 years ago. I mean, like you said, everything's instantaneous.
No question.
IPCPR, everybody, nobody was reporting. Nobody was saying, the new blends coming out except for Cigar Aficionado, and now all of a sudden, it's all over the place.
Yep.
True. And I have to take a minute in seriousness to thank you guys for having us on the show. And it's because of you guys that make what we do fun. For anybody to show interest in a company that makes cigars, it sounds kind of crazy sometimes, but because of guys like you and, Stogie Review and all these other, forums and bulletin boards and bloggers and news sources, it's kind of been able to shine a light on us a little bit. And it's been really, really nice, actually. So I want to thank you guys for supporting the industry. So making what we do actually look interesting, because it really isn't. But
well, hey, keep making good Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa, AJ.
AJ. John's never going to come back on.
AJ's getting a lot of support today.
No, I want to come back on with AJ Fernandez.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Matt's got a question. Let's take. He goes, "How much
Matt
input?"
Morona?
Oh, go ahead, John.
Is it Matt Morona's question?
Yes, it is.
Da, 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 da.
Ready?
Matt Morona. I just had to do that. I'm sorry. My wife would kill me if she saw me. Anyway.
Matt says, "How much input do you guys actually have on the blend? Do you guys mostly just tell Ernesto what you're looking for and he blends it?"
No. 100% input. And that was something that Ernie made very clear from day one. Listen, you guys are going to tell me what you want. We're going to blend it. You're going to improve the blend. You're going to improve the tobacco. You're going to say because I'm just going to make the cigar. This is not on me. It's on you. So what you taste is all Mike and I, for the most part, really just kind of trial and error. I mean, I know exactly what I want to taste. I want the smoking experience to be in. And sometimes it's like throwing darts to the dartboard, but having somebody like Ernie help you and saying, well, okay, if you use this ASP from Esteli, that'll do this. Or it's like working in a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
You throw a little bit more pepper in, you got to balance it with a little bit of sweetness, da, 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 da. And that's what I've learned a lot from Ernie. But the blends are entirely ours. It's not like we're just sitting back and saying, send us 3 sticks, we'll pick one. That's, we don't want to pick the last stick standing.
Right. We got tons of questions in the chat room. Also.
You got it, Mike.
I caught that.
For Mike.
I don't think Williams got it yet. Last stick standing?
I'm trying to flick back between there's like the questions are coming so fast. I'm trying to keep them in order and they're flying up.
Christine asked, what's the worst cigar you've ever smoked?
The worst cigar I've ever smoked.
Or did Christine ask that or Corey? I can't remember.
No, Cigar Lifter did.
So
you ain't even paying attention.
It scrolls up,
You're yelling at me.
I'm gonna kind of dodge that a little bit, but give you some background on it. I think there's like to me, there's an unwritten rule of ethics on this side of the business, being, on the manufacturing side of the business, that I would never throw somebody under the bus. I just have too much respect for what everybody else out there is doing and making cigars. And when you see how laborious and what's involved in, the planning, the cultivation, the harvest, the fermentation, the processing, the rolling, for me to sit out here and say, yeah, I had a XYZ and it was horrible. I mean, that's just so disrespectful. I would never do that to anybody, whether we were on Skype or if I was just talking to you guys in a bar or something. I wouldn't just say, oh, I had blah, blah, blah. It was the worst cigar I've ever smoked. Every cigar has some merit. I'm not one of these guys that lights a cigar and gets a half inch into it and pitches it. I just have too much respect for the product.
Nice.
Well, Corey's got one, John. He said, if the trade embargo ever lifts, would you try Cuban leaf in your sticks?
Absolutely. Of course. I think one of the most exciting things about the Cuban embargo would be when you start to create different blends that incorporate Cuban tobacco with Nicaraguan tobacco or Dominican tobacco. I mean, then you've got a whole different, you've got a whole different spice rack at your disposal when you're in the kitchen, so to speak. And yeah, I would be very interested in doing that.
Well, there's a good one. BD Cigar Smoker asked, where do you see Crown heads in the next few years? How many lines do you think are too many, or is there such a thing as too many?
I think that's all depends upon your particular business model. One of the things that we didn't want to do, I was talking to Mike when we first started this thing, is I don't want to be under the gun to come out with a new brand every year or a new thing, at CAO we ended up with like 16 different brands and flavors and this and that, and it just got to be this pressure of like coming out with something new all the time. I said I want to create brands that have longevity, that will be around and build a foundation 5 years down the road. That being said, if we come out with one new brand every couple of years or something, a couple of line extensions, shape extensions to an existing line, I think in 5 years you could probably look for maybe 3 different brands, maybe a couple of limited edition offshoots, something like that, really. I mean, this is really our second year at it. I mean, even though we announced the company in February of 2011, started shipping in November, and we'll have 6 facings of 4 kicks for the show. We're introducing a new size, actually, a 6th size in August, which you guys could have the exclusive on, but nobody's asking me for it, so I'm not going to say it. And then we'll have Headley Grange next year. And then I'm thinking about a different blend altogether for 2013. So slow and steady kind of thing. For me to tell you I'm going to have 5 brands or we're going to have 6 brands, I don't know. You just got to see what the tobacco is available, see what's good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make just
Well,
to make
do
something.
you see once you have that core line established, like your 4 Kicks, your Headley Grange, things like that, your core line that you want to keep going, forever with? Do you see doing more like special edition blends, just 1,000 boxes or something, or don't you?
I see a lot of that. I'll be honest with you, Mike. It doesn't really interest me so much anymore. I mean, there's enough guys doing that already. Everything's a limited edition. I can come up with a list of things that are overused in this industry. Limited edition, the word boutique, the word passion. They all become cliches after a while. And it's like, unless you're doing something different, you're just following everybody. I don't really see any need for more limited editions.
Okay, cool. Now, I also heard some rumor that there was going to be a new size of 4 Kicks coming out later on this year.
You are good.
I don't know where I heard
right
it from.
on par.
Is there anything you can tell us?
Let's talk about the shape of San Lotano. Talk to me about that, AJ.
Oh, shit.
All right. I just did that. Yeah, no, we're going to have, well, April 27th, we launched the 5th Vitola, which is Selection number 5, 6.5 by 44. In August, we are going to launch the 6th size of 4 Kicks, which the name is to be determined, actually, to be honest with you. We haven't gone that far, but it's going to be a 5.5 by 56.
Nice. That's a good size.
Yeah. I'm not a big ring gauge guy. I didn't want to do a 60, but when I came out with the 44, 5, everybody's like, oh, we want something for larger ring gauges. I would never do a 660, so 5.5, 56. What turned my brain to thinking for that size was I smoked one of Dion's Epernay. Believe, Dion, don't kill me if I botch this. I think it's La Toro, 5.5, 56. It was the number 3 cigar for Cigar Aficionado, and it is amazing. It is one of the best cigars I smoked all last year or this year. And that was 5.5, 56. So I said, well, maybe there is something there. So was the idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
Can't smoke a bad Epernay. That's all I'm going to say.
Can't what now?
Can't smoke a bad Epernay. There's just that cigar's the shit.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the epitome of a well-balanced cigar, flavorful without having to knock you on your seat. I think it's a masterpiece. I have a lot of respect and admiration for Dion, all the cigars that he's done. He does it right.
Yeah. Dion, if you're listening, answer your email.
He's not. Don't kid yourself. He ain't listening.
He's a tough man to get a hold of, boy. He's tough to get on this show. I've been trying since day one.
I bet you can get AJ Fernandez.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the show.
Now we will.
We probably will after this show.
You probably could.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck it. San Lotano Oval.
Should I just put it on my forehead and wear it the rest of the show?
There you go. There you go.
All right, next question.
Let's see. Lady of Stickhead once she said, has your palate changed at all since 4 Kicks?
Since 4 Kicks? Wow.
I guess. I think she was missing a letter in there. I didn't want to have to beat her up, but she was missing a word in there. So I'm kind of improvising.
I don't know. I mean, 4 Kicks hasn't been out that long. I mean, really, it's only been, what, 8 months now? 7 months that's been out. So I don't know that my palate has changed in 7 months. I still look for the same things that I looked for when we were blending that in a cigar, any given cigar. I look for balance. I look to make sure that one note doesn't ring louder than the others in the blend. I look for the texture of the smoke. That's what I call body. Most people nowadays call body strength or something, or spice, but to me, body has always been the mouthfeel. How it feels in the mouth. Is it chewy? Is it got some weight to it? I look for the same things I always have. And whether it's our cigars or another brand cigars, I go to Uptown Smoke Shop in Green Hills pretty much every 2 weeks, buy competitor cigars just because I enjoy them. And I look for those same attributes in those cigars as well.
Cool.
Cool.
Corey.
Well, let's
Corey
see.
has a good question.
Matt sent me another thing.
What's that?
Which
No, I
one?
was
Who?
say Corey has a good question.
Well, Corey's got another.
Yeah, he's asking.
Go ahead. What is it?
When blending a new stick or coming out with a new line, do you try and aim for a price point as you're going through the process, or do you worry about that?
No. What we look for is the flavor, the quality, the taste. It's got to be like top notch. And then for us, we worry about the money afterwards. If you start with money, you might as well make, medium filled sandwich cigars, but, we don't concern ourselves with the cost. Maybe we should, but we don't. We work on the blend and getting something down that we really are happy with flavor wise. And then once we get to that point, then it's like, okay, what's this going to cost us? So that's kind of how we work with it. I don't think things shouldn't start with money. I mean, any time in your life with anything, whether it's tobacco or anything, I think if you start with money as a motivator, and it don't work.
Uh-oh.
Now with that,
that's called. I know that's important to you guys.
That's AJ Fernandez tweeting John right now.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Now, with that process with the money, have you ever had a blend where you smoked it and it was like, man, this is really good, and then you found out the price point was like, we're not going to be able to do that? No?
No. And to this, knock on wood, that hasn't happened yet. Sometimes I will say, like, sometimes you have to, like, if you really believe in something strongly enough and you want to price it at a cost-effective price point, sometimes you do have to take a little hit on your end for the margin. Maybe you're not making as much money as you wanted to, but you believe enough in that product and in that blend that you'll say, okay, well, we'll make a little bit less money, but we really want to get it out there and have people enjoy it. So, I mean, it's, back at CAO, it was never really about the money, and with Crowned Heads, it's the same thing. You got to start with what you believe in, what's in your heart, what's in your palate, and hopefully everything else takes care of itself.
Well, now with that, do you see yourself producing, or your company producing, $15, $20, $30 cigar?
No. I think that's rare air. To coin a Michael Jordan thing, it's rare air. I think there's really a very short list of manufacturers that can do that and command that kind of dollar, to be honest with you. And obviously you have to look at the Padron family. To me, those guys, or the Fuentes, or maybe a couple of others, but those guys are all like on an island somewhere, and then the rest of us are like trying to get our own piece of the island across from them, whatever. But now I think once you breach north of $10, you're in a whole different league. Mentally, everybody looks at the product a different way when you're north of $10. It's very difficult. I'm not saying we won't scratch that surface or just maybe edge towards it, but a $15 cigar, $20 cigar, $30, nah. I mean, you could have the best blend in the world, but nobody can afford it. What good is it? It's like, I don't want to make special occasion cigars. I want to make cigars that a guy can go home at the end of the day and, light it up and pour himself a beverage and relax for an hour and enjoy that part of his day. I don't want him to have to wait until his kid's birthday or, the kid graduates from college to afford one of our cigars.
And all we can do is hope that the government doesn't keep adding taxes upon taxes, that a $7 cigar turns into a $15 cigar.
That's true. And then a $30 cigar turns into, a paycheck almost. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, today it does.
Silly.
So let's see, John, we just had Wes on, and we were talking about the Chattanooga tweet up, and we were told you will be there.
Yeah. When is it?
It's in
August, right?
Oh, shit, I don't remember the date.
I don't
remember the dates either. I'm terrible with dates, but
I heard you might want to get your instruments loosened up a little bit.
My instruments?
Yeah.
What is that all about?
I can't tell you everything. Wes said not to tell everything. Just said there's going to be some surprises you don't know about, apparently.
Oh, great.
I
you know what? I just wanted to go to this thing, like have a cigar, mingle with a couple people, then take my wife and my kid to the aquarium and have a nice little family outing. And now he's talking about surprises, man.
And
I don't know, Wesley. Wesley, we don't have to talk. I don't know.
So anybody, if you're in the area, you're going to Tweet Up, make sure you stop by and check Jon out, and definitely smoke some.
Don't literally check me out, but come by and say hello. And that Tweet Up is actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
August 24th.
Yeah, I think Pete's coming out for it. Jonathan Drew, David Jones, and Wes and Matt and all those guys up in Chattanooga. They do a really great job down in Chattanooga. Do a really great job with that. It was fun. Had a good time. It's like right after the IPCPR show, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Sean said August 24th.
He thinks.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, I'll make the drive for sure.
Well, like the show with Wes, David Jones at Tiki Bar Online. He has all the information on his site.
Me and David Jones. David Jones.
You got him singing again. Here we go.
I like Dave. Hey, anybody that gives us Cigar of the Year, thank you, David. We appreciate it. Tiki Bar Online, 4 Kicks. Robusto was Cigar of the Year.
There you go.
That's nice. That's very nice. Considering we only had 4 weeks of shipments out there, we made up some of those best of the year lists. I was very grateful for all of them. So, except for obviously we didn't make Cigar Aficionados. But I think the AJ Fernandez San Lotano Oval did.
I do believe so. Man.
You ain't gonna live this one down, brother. Do you realize that? Jon, if anything, Jon, he's gonna make sure whatever guest is on, he's smoking their shit from now on. Trust me.
There you go.
If anything,
I've set the bar for everybody going
I'm
forward.
gonna find some 4 Kicks. I'm gonna just keep a couple boxes around here. That way, every guest we have on, I'm gonna start smoking a 4 Kicks every single show.
Do you even have a retailer near you that sells 4
Not
Kicks?
that I know of. Well, the closest, I think, the Humidor down in Maryland, Cockeysville, Maryland, they might have them. I'm not sure if they do or not.
Maybe. They were one of our starting 66 accounts, but that was one of the main things. Like when we first launched, I can't say that we got a lot of complaints, to be honest with you, but when they were gripes, it was I can't find the cigar anywhere, which is why we went about trying to select certain stores across the country and not saturate one particular area, but kind of spread them out a little bit. So that's why we're at 164 now, as opposed to 66. And hopefully, I think we're doing a better job of making it more accessible to folks out there. So I hope. But if you can't find it, give us a call. I'll try to point you in the right direction.
It's hard in areas like here and
even
the Midwest for you guys because it's so much distance in between. I mean, we have so much farmland and everything else around where I live. I drive 45 minutes to an hour to get to a cigar shop.
Wow. That's true. I mean, we have a 7-foot wide map of the United States in our conference room, which I've kind of adopted as my own office. I don't use my desk. And we put pins, literally old school. We put pins in the map when we open an account for a store in that area. So if you look at everything east of the Rockies, it looks really good. You've got boom, 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 boom. It's like, you got, and then you go west of the Rockies and it's like tumbleweeds, man. You got like a smattering in California, a few in Arizona, and then I think Dion in Reno, Nevada, and that's about, there's nothing. Yeah. It's just very difficult. There's not a whole lot out there. And I find it interesting. It's like you can divide the country in half. East of the Rockies, west of the Rockies. East, people know about us. They support the brand. West of the Rockies, I can call up a retailer and say, hey, it's Jon Huber from Crown Heads. Who? We do a cigar called 4 Kicks. What? It's made by Ernesto Perez Carrillo Jr. Who's that? It's just, they're like, do you guys not read anything? It's like, you're a retailer. You should keep up on this stuff. But so I find it more of an uphill battle as further west we go.
Well, on that whole line, Corey's got a good question. He wants to know, on your line, how do you choose a B&M to sell your product?
I look first for location, make sure he's not too close to any of our existing accounts because we try to provide a little bit of geographic exclusivity. We don't want to saturate any one area. Like, for instance, Nashville, our hometown, we have there's a good 6 or 7 tobacconists that have expressed interest in carrying the brand, but we've chosen to go with one. I don't think we need to have it, and that one account has done fantastic for us. They've been very supportive. The second thing I look at is also what other brands do they sell? Are they more boutique centric? Do they sell, the smaller, hard to find, the Cordovari, the, Tatuaje, Illusion, Viaje, or whatever. You get a feel for it. Or are they all about Macanudo, Romeo y Julieta, and Partagas, and Punch? We don't want to be in a place that's mass marketed. Kind of want to be more in a cigar connoisseurs kind of a store. And then lastly, also how they store the cigars. How are they presented? How's their humidor? Is it well maintained? What's their business philosophy? Do they sell online? If they do, what's their discount? Is it more than 10% per box? If it is, then we don't do it. So we're pretty selective about who we open up.
Cool. Now the stores that do have, you brought up a good thing with selling online. The stores that do carry your product, if somebody would call one of those stores are able to ship them a box. There's no, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we sell to Holtz, Holtz.com. You can order online from Holtz, but they're primarily a brick and mortar. We don't sell to, like, nothing against these guys. I don't want anybody to say, oh, what's wrong with those? Like Famous, Cigars International, JR, the guys that are strictly pretty much online, we don't sell to them. That's just the way it is. But then you've got Tinderbox in Charlotte, they'll still ship you a box, or Havana Connections and Richmond, they'll ship you a box. Uptown Smoke Shop in Nashville, they'll ship you a box. Most retailers will mail order. But we've always been very brick and mortar centric, and we want to support the brick and mortar accounts. We don't at this point we don't really need to do this huge volume with cigar. I mean, we can't support a Cigars International. Cigar.com called us when we first started, and they expressed interest in carrying the product. I was like, we can't give you enough product to make it worth your while. You want 16 boxes? It's not going to do you any good. So
Corey says,
Corey said that he was in Holtz, and they didn't have any of yours on the shelves.
He went to Holtz?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Downtown, or which one?
Which one, Corey, did you go to? Maybe they were sold out.
They could have been. They've been we just shipped them, or we're shipping them another reorder. At this point, like today, if you went to our office, you would find literally about 21 boxes of Robusto and nothing else.
Downtown, John.
Downtown, they didn't have it?
No.
I don't know.
Probably sold out.
They probably have a back order. But right now, we have nothing but 21 boxes of Robusto, and then we're getting a shipment either Monday or Tuesday. So we'll get some more stuff out. But literally, every shipment since November the 9th, it's come in the one door and out the other door, in one door, out the next door. It's luckily, we've been very fortunate that the demand has been there. What did I say? Thank you.
Corey put, I had to buy an oval.
Oh, that was good.
Very well.
Shit.
Hey, you know what? All jokes aside, I love that cigar. I think it's a great cigar.
Yeah, we're all just having fun. That's all. It's just good fun.
All right. Yeah.
Well, John, anything we didn't hit on that you want to hit on that we might have missed? We're getting near the end of our hour show.
What can I say? What do we not? Tomorrow's my 400th day anniversary for my marriage. See, off the air, I want everybody to know that it's Mike F's anniversary coming up, and he's going away, taking his wife away to a very nice cabin, very romantic, very well done, Mike. Then I said, okay, congratulations. How long have you been married? And he's like, what? He didn't know. And I'm like, I know the day. Tomorrow's 400 days that I've been married. Love of my life. I'm very happy, and I celebrate my anniversary every day. And I probably nauseate everybody on Twitter, but I really don't care because she's amazing. Happy anniversary, Mike. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Look at him.
Hopefully the wife will not be watching this one.
He still got that dead man walking look in his face.
It's like,
no.
Oh, we didn't ask the question. Hey, Mike, ask the question there, the famous chat room question.
Yeah, everybody wants to know now in the chat room, if you are on your deathbed and you can smoke one cigar, what would be your last cigar?
What am I dying of, first of all?
Well, we let you choose whatever you want to die
Yeah.
of.
No, I'm kidding. I could smoke one cigar on my
Yep.
deathbed?
One
Only
cigar
one.
and then you're
You
dead.
got to pick one.
One cigar and then I'm dead. It better be a long cigar, huh? Or smoke it very slowly. Man, I don't shoot.
That's the same response we usually get too.
That's ridiculous. Is that another way of saying what are some of the best, most memorable cigars you've smoked? Because that I can answer.
It's like the desert,
right, dude.
like the
Can't
deserted
answer.
island question. Basically, if you're on a deserted island and you can only have one cigar to smoke the rest of your life, what would it be?
At this point, if I had one cigar to smoke for the rest of my life on a desert island, I would probably, it would either be a Four Kicks Corona Gorda or Fuente Don Carlos number 3.
Cool.
There you go.
Because it's got to be something that's kind of mid-range, and if I'm going to smoke it all the time. Otherwise, I mean, shoot, I might even throw a Tatuaje or an Epernay in that mix. Cubans are so inconsistent. I wouldn't throw any Cubans in there, but
Nope.
it's funny, man. Somebody asked me once, what are the most memorable cigars that you've had? And it's interesting when I look back and I think of certain cigars that really kind of defined a moment for me, and they're not ones that you would expect. Like for instance, 1998 Bahia Gold Robusto. I mean, that cigar just opened my mind. Like, just like, whoa! I'm like, that was an amazing, amazing cigar back in that day. And to this day, 14 years later, I still think, man, let's try to do something like Tony Barani did with Bahia Gold in 1998 when it was at its peak. And then there's stuff that Pete's done. His Tatuaje line. That's a great smoke. I could smoke that every day. Epernay I could smoke every day.
I could, but I go broke.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Mike. When you do this for a living, you don't really have to pay for a whole lot.
There you go. Well, I'm in the wrong damn line.
Sometimes there are perks. Sometimes. But,
Well, Corey's got a good one before we go. Actually, he said, what stick did you smoke on your wedding night?
I didn't smoke any cigars on my wedding night
Oh, there you go, Corey.
because I wanted to have nice, minty, fresh breath so my bride would kiss me. And so I did not smoke any cigars on my wedding night. Just, my business life, my personal life are very, was it church and state?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really bring work home. I try not to do that, literally. I don't smoke at home. I talk about the business as little as I possibly can. I mean, when I come home, we live out in God's country, and I just want to come to my wife and relax and turn everything off. That way, when I get in the next day, I'm totally refreshed and I'm focused. I'm anxious to get to creating and working and building and that kind of thing. But when I'm home, it's all about me and my wife and our son when he's here. And, I love that life.
It's nice.
Cool.
Very, very nice.
All right. Well, it looks like we don't have any more questions for you, John. And
That's it?
That's it, brother. The hour is over. That quick.
Corey was, thank you, Corey. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any questions. And Matt Morona.
And AJ Fernandez.
Much love to AJ Fernandez. Hey, do you guys do contests or anything? I want to give away a hat or something.
Sure.
Like this hat. I'm going to give away this, not this one on my head, but Headley Grange.
There you go.
I would love to give somebody one of these
What do you want to do?
fine chapeaus. What do you want to do? What do you guys want to do?
Hey.
Name the cigar Mike was smoking. No.
That's good. You guys think of it, and then let me know when somebody wins it, and we'll go ahead and
Cool.
Sweet.
do something different, man. Just
We will.
Make somebody go out and take a picture of themselves in front of a Pizza Hut and Taco Bell or something. The combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. Wearing a Four Kicks hat or something. I don't know. Think of something.
We'll think of something. We'll think of something good.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the website with this post. Anybody you leave a comment with, whatever our question is, and we'll make sure that John gets the hat out. And John, we'll send you that email as you requested, and we appreciate that as well.
Thank you. And I'm going to hook you guys up with some new gear too, so that Mike F can retire that tired crowned head shirt and give him a different shirt possibly.
Cut his hair.
Yes. Hey, there's a contest.
I was honestly thinking about doing that. I was going to do a
like
contest
haircut.
about getting my haircut. I was going to have people donate cigars to like Cigars for the Troops or something, and however many,
Troops.
as more cigars would come in, then I'd get my haircut as once we reached a certain amount. but
There we go.
And what
I
happened?
just the wife's kind of like on the edge whether I should get it
Just
cut or
chicken
not, and everybody says I better listen to her.
On the edge, man. I push you over the edge. Yes, absolutely. Get a haircut. Are you kidding? It's a no-brainer. Cut it. Fresh look, man, for the 21st century. I'm just telling you. It'll be good for you.
There you go, Mikey.
Oh boy, pressure.
Look at him. He's like, he thinks it's like his power, John. He thinks it's his power. If he cuts his hair,
He-Man or something?
it's gone.
Or what was the? What am I thinking of? Guy with the hair that they cut his hair and he had no power. What was it? Anyway,
I can't think of his name.
Don't matter.
No.
Hercules? No.
Oh, it was something else.
Yeah, I can't think either. Somebody in the chat probably knows, but Gideon, no.
Well, guys,
Anyway.
it was definitely a pleasure. I want to thank you for taking your time out in the afternoon and cutting the middle of your day to BS with me. It was a lot of fun. I always enjoy talking to you guys. And thank you. Anybody who asked a question, all three of you, I appreciate you guys. And yeah, it was fun, man. Hey, Mike W., I'm sending you some of these Headley Grange samples because, like I told you in that email, I think it's going to be more in your wheelhouse. So I would love to get your feedback on them and get some samples this week, next batch. So
I appreciate it, and nothing but respect. You and I talk back and forth, regarding my review, and
I appreciate your candor, man.
I was just going to say that. I will say it publicly right now. John is very, very humbled, and whether you agree or disagree with him, I have nothing but respect, and I'm looking forward to trying it, and I appreciate you sending it to me, and I will give you my honest opinion.
Thank you.
And that's all it is. It's just an opinion. That's all it is. It's my opinion.
Exactly. And
that's all it is.
I like honesty. I like authenticity, and that's whether it's this business or anything in life. You have to be honest and authentic and have some integrity. And so when somebody says, well, I liked it, as long as they're honest, great. If they didn't like it, as long as they're honest, great. And I appreciate that.
Samson.
We appreciate
Samson and Delilah.
Samson. That was it.
Oh, there you go.
Samson.
Chat room comes.
All right.
John, I think he doesn't cut it because his wife likes pulling it. That's all my opinion, though.
Oh, there's so many. Make it go away. Oh, no. Oh. That's the kind of like mental dirty that doesn't wash away. Yeah.
Oh, all right, man. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Are you going to meet the IPCPR show in August?
No, we're actually talking about making next year's. We actually been talking about some plans about without giving away what we want to do in the future, but we're looking into start getting the three of us, Matt Morona included, because Matt's part of the show, up to these events to start possibly doing some live shows.
Mm-hmm.
So
why no IPCPR?
Honestly,
yeah.
We'll tell you straight up, the funds just aren't there right now.
Okay.
All our money is going into the production of this show right now to get a better quality show.
All our money is going into tobacco.
There you go.
So what we're doing is we're renting a U-Haul truck, and Mike and I are in the front. Michael and Nancy are in the back with all of our gear and everything. We're going to go down there. We're going to sneak in the back door, set up the display, and try to sell as many cigars as possible before they kick us out because we didn't pay for a booth. So fingers crossed.
Oh, nice.
We were actually going to put Mike out in a rabbit suit and hope to get sponsors soon.
In a rabbit suit?
Yeah, rabbit suit.
Signs were like they're twisting the signs and throwing them up and everything. And
that's it. Pin the tail on the rabbit.
Very good.
All
right. Fun. I appreciate your time.
Right,
no, thank you, John. We appreciate everything. And we'll let you know what the contest is. We'll let you know who nails it. We'll make it fun for you.
Sounds good. That's the most important thing. All right, you guys. Have a great weekend.
You too, man.
You too.
See ya.
Adios.
All righty. I am back by myself here for a little bit until, if I decide to bring Mr. Michael Williams back in. I don't know, after that rabbit suit con thing. But anyway, great show again with John. John's a great guy. If you ever have a chance to meet John in person, he is so forthcoming and open and honest. It's refreshing, really. What do you think, Mike? How do you think?
Yeah, no, I think he's, I said it before when he was on the show, he's one of the one of the real down to earth people in the industry. I think he's very humble. I think I know personally, from speaking to him, I reviewed it over on Mike Stogie's and I thought it was good, but it just didn't live up to the hype for me. And he talked to me about it and appreciated my opinion, my honesty. And to me, that's a lot of respect. It's tough doing all those reviews, as you know, Mike. You don't always like someone's particular cigar, and it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just your opinion, and I respect someone when I tell them my honest opinion, and whether they agree or disagree, 9 times out of 10 they appreciate it, and that's what matters. And I think John is one of those guys. But it was good to have him back on. It was a fun show. We had fun in the pre-show. We had fun during the show. I hope everybody in the chat room had a good time. Thanks for all the questions, and that's about it. When's the next show? Actually, let me find out when the next show is. The next show.
I'm just here.
Oh, you'll be around for the next show.
But
the next show is the 23rd. It's another Saturday. We're trying to get away from the Thursday shows. We will have one. I think Rocky's our next Thursday show, but our next show is the 23rd of this month, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Sosa Cigars. That is our next show. So hopefully all you folks will tune in. Thanks, Corey. We appreciate it. Again, without everybody supporting us, the show really doesn't matter. So we appreciate everybody supporting us. Hopefully, everything's starting to look better. We're getting there slowly but surely. And we will get to that Skype call-in for you guys soon. We're still working out another bug I found. So we're working out the bugs. So once we get the bugs worked out, we'll have you guys calling in on Skype. And
and
that's
watch
watch
the write-up for this video to see about the contest. So you know how to or what you need to do to enter. We'll have to brainstorm here and figure out something good for John.
Something dirty. No.
Oh boy.
And hey, Tom, where's Tom? Is he still in the chat room? Tom, you're still in the chat room. Get a hold of me. I'm still waiting on you. I know I'm in that lower class now. I'm not up there with you, but get a hold of me. You know what I'm talking about. Look at him.
All right, guys. Well, that's
right.
it for me. You have anything else, Mike?
Nah, peace out. Let's get the fuck out of here. See ya.